Morning, Danny. Liberal Democrat perspective. What do you make of the budget?
Well, firstly, we're very pleased that the government's put so much money into the NHS, because we've been calling that for a long time. And we know that the NHS has been really struggling. It's been really run down over the last 14 years. And we've been campaigning really hard to make sure it gets the support it needs so that the staff can deliver the care that they need. But what we're really worried about is that the government has completely ignored the elephant in the room, which is the social care crisis. And you cannot fix the NHS without fixing social care. And we've been calling on the government to begin cross-party talks on how we can fix social care and get a long-term solution. And at the moment, that seems like it's been almost ignored. And it's
Danny, what about
a
growth?
really difficult situation.
What about growth today? You've got the former Chancellor saying you can't fix social care on the news today, saying you can't fix social care unless you have growth. You need to be making money as a country. It's no good sitting down going, let's fix social care if you haven't got the money to do it. That's a waste of a meeting. Do you think this budget brings growth to the country?
But just to take up that point there, the problem with not providing social care is that if you don't have social care packages, people spend their time in hospital anyway, and they're well enough to go home, but they're stuck in a hospital bed with nowhere to go, and it costs more money to keep someone in a hospital than it does to give them a social care package. So we're not actually saving any money as a country or as taxpayers by not providing the social care. It is cheaper to provide the social care than to keep them in hospital. But you're right, we are a bit worried about the growth in this budget, burdening small businesses and small care providers with essentially a jobs tax is wrong. I think the farm tax, that's not good. We've had hardworking farmers, providing food for the country. These are family businesses, and they're going to be hammered by these by the changes in inheritance tax. It's not a great budget for small businesses, and we want more support for small businesses and instead focus taxes on things like the big banks, where the Conservatives gave the banks big tax cuts, the big social media giants. They're the people that should be bearing the brunt of the tax rises, not the small businesses.
And the small businesses are often referred to as the lifeblood of the UK. There might be the Amazons of the world might grab the headlines, but there are far, far more small businesses. There'll be small business owners listening to this now thinking, well, I employ 9 people and now I've got to change the tax regime that I've got for them. It's going to cost me money. We've had publicans on the show saying it's going to cost me, how about this? It's going to cost between £2,500 and £3,000 extra a month to run my pub, coffee shop, between £2,500 and £3,000 extra a month. That's just, we're going to either end up paying more coffee or people won't buy coffee. There's a point in which you're not going to go in, isn't there, Danny? A point where you're going to go, look, I'm not paying £4.50, £5 for a cup of coffee.
Especially in the cost of living crisis. And on the other side of the coin as well is that we were really hoping the government would keep its manifesto pledge in reforming business rates to help small businesses, high street businesses, things like coffee shops. And they haven't done that in this budget. So it seems a bit of a burden on to put national insurance up on small businesses and not reform the business rates either to make it easier for them. And you're right, they're the lifeblood of the community. They provide vibrancy to our high streets. They provide a huge social impact as well as providing, providing employee, providing jobs and growing the economy as well. So they need to be supported in every way we can.
Danny Chambers, thank you for your time. Liberal Democrat MP for Winchester. Your thoughts on the budget?